All right, guys. So today we're doing the first of the Block O'Clock cocktail demonstrations. So we are going to actually make a hot toddy today since it's getting warmer out there, but still going to be cool at night. So hot toddies are a nice way to warm yourself up, enjoy a nice drink, and they're very customizable, which is why we love them so much. So we're actually going to tell you about the original recipe and then break down some customizations and of course some nerdy facts. So I'm going to switch it over. I'm going to be narrating, but we actually have Natasha here today.
Hi, everybody.
So Natasha, tell us about a traditional hot toddy recipe.
Okay, cool. So like Craig mentioned, hot toddies are extremely customizable, but your base is going to be 6 ounces of hot water, 1.5 ounces of whiskey, 2 to 3 teaspoons of honey, 2 to 3 teaspoons of lemon juice, lemon round, and cinnamon stick. And so the most important thing about a hot toddy is going to be the water temperature. So alcohol boils at 162 degrees Fahrenheit. If you get it any hotter than that, the water is going to vaporize and burnerize, and you're going to lose all that alcohol. So you want to make sure you're keeping it there. Denver's elevation, water will boil at 202 degrees Fahrenheit. If you are not in Denver and want to get nerdy with it, water will boil at 212 degrees at sea level.
And so just to clarify that a little bit, so basically when you have your hot water for your hot toddy, if you then pour your whiskey straight into boiling water, the alcohol is gonna actually vaporize because of the temperature of the water. So you don't want it to be too hot, because then it's going to vaporize, and when you try to take a drink, you're gonna get alcohol vapor in your eyes. It's also going to be too hot to drink, which is not very fun. So we suggest keeping the water in that 170 degree range, which we're going to show our fancy thermometer here. So this is actually a thermometer for making lattes, which for reference of these temperatures for you guys, a latte is served at what, Natasha?
A latte is going to be served at 155 to 165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Whereas a cup of black coffee is going to be closer to that boiling range. So if you guys, I'm sure most of you have had experience with that, you get your latte and you can drink it right away versus your cup of black coffee. You got to let it cool down. So.
And no one wants a burnt tongue, because then you're going to be sitting with that for 3 days later.
Right. And you don't taste your hot toddy after that.
Okay, so now getting on to the customizations, you can use regular honey syrup. Where did we put it?
Oh.
Alright, so you can just pour it straight out of here. Since the water is hot, it's going to be a lot easier for the drink to mix. Or you can use sugar if you don't have honey. If you want to use maple syrup, go ahead, do your thing. But making a simple syrup is just going to be a little bit easier, going to make it more fluid. And you're gonna want a 1/4 cup of honey, and then to a 1/2 cup, I believe, of water.
Yep. So, and for those of you, again, that are really nerdy, that's about 64 grams of honey to 100 grams of water that you're gonna simmer together to make a honey syrup, which makes it a little more fluid and a little easier to use. But the other part that we like to do at the block is mix in a lot of botanicals for our syrups. So this is some examples of some great botanicals and spices to mix into a honey syrup: cloves and cinnamon. You can also, Natasha, bitters.
Angostura, you're gonna know. If you guys aren't familiar with Dram, we use Dram all the time. They're local to Colorado, so if you're looking for another business to support, go shout out our boys at Dram, and women. Let's see what else. If you want to add lemon, that will slightly change the drink. It's actually called a whiskey skin if you're adding lemon juice. Found that out today. But kind of irrelevant. I feel like we all like to add lemon juice to our hot toddies, so we can just call it that. And now for our customizable recipe, if you want to go ahead and do what we are doing. So first, we're going to start off with 2 ounces of our autumn gin. If you haven't had our autumn gin, it's really wonderful. It's got allspice, clove, cardamom, cinnamon. It truly embodies the autumn season. So we're going to do 1.5 ounces of that. Pour that in.
And while she's making it, so if you guys create a custom syrup, we did do a syrups tutorial video. You can check that out in our IGTV section. But you can also definitely integrate lemon juice into a honey syrup, which is a great addition for a hot toddy. But you want to make sure you add the lemon juice to the syrup after the syrup's cooled down. So you'll actually make your honey syrup, add your botanicals and spices, simmer that together, cool it off in the fridge, and then you'll integrate lemon juice basically to taste after that. And then you don't have to you shorten your cocktail recipe in the end, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so next we are going to do 1/2 ounce of our honey simple syrup. Pour that in there. And 4 dashes, these are the wild sage strand bitters.
Which, a little bit about Dram. Dram is located in Salida. They do a lot of foraging of their botanicals, which is really awesome. And they also, all of their bitters is glycerin based instead of alcohol based. So if you don't feel like getting tipsy that night, you can use their bitters with just some tea and have no alcohol content at all. So
Next we're going to do lemon, 1/4 ounce of that. So be aware, if you're using a jigger at home, use one of these and not one of these, because using a metal jigger will burn your hand. Kind of did that for myself. And if you are not measuring it out and you're using the water boil method where you boil it on your stove, you're going to want to let it do a light simmer and then let it rest for 3 to 5 minutes. Is that what you
about
said?
3 minutes, yeah. So you would actually, we started making the cocktail in the glass first. But if you don't have a thermometer, control your water temp, which we suggest at 170, you would actually lightly simmer it, pour the water in an empty mug first, let it sit for 3 minutes, and then throw the rest of your cocktail on top of that.
So we're doing 6 ounces of hot water, 170 degrees.
So at this point, we've added our autumn gin, we've added our honey syrup, our lemon juice, and our bitters. Now we just added our hot water, and we're gonna also, another fun part is playing with different teas. So we're actually gonna do an orange spice tea.
Yeah. And this says an aromatic blend of black tea, sweet citrus, orange peel, and fragrant spices. So you can see how that would kind of pair well with the autumn flavor we have going on here. Let it steep for 3 to 4 minutes. Then you want to pull it out so your drink doesn't get bitter. And while we are letting that steep, we can go ahead and do our garnish. We're going to do an orange peel. Typically for a hot toddy, you would do a lemon peel, but since we're being creative and us, we're going to switch it up for an orange. Wouldn't really recommend lime as a citrus because that will be a different flavor. So when you express a peel, you want to make sure to do it this way. This way?
Yep.
I'm confusing myself online. So watch closely, you'll see the oils express. See that? Hopefully you can see it on camera.
It's a little,
There we go.
bit.
Yeah. So you always want to make sure that you're getting the oils into your cocktail. And then if you want to go ahead and make a little twist out of it, kind of keep it like that.
So that's going to add some nice aroma to the edge of the glass as well as the top of the cocktail. All fruits have like basically pores on the rind, so when you squeeze it with the outer part of the rind, it's going to actually shoot those oils across your glass.
And then we're going to top it off with a cinnamon stick. And then what are we at on the tea? About a minute?
Yeah, I'd say another minute or so on our tea, but I think we're good to probably try it.
Okay. I'm just going to stir the flavor because you can see all the tea sitting at the bottom there. Or
How
should
do
I
we do?
a bigger?
Yeah.
Amazing. Super great. But cheers, everybody. Thank you for joining Block O'Clock. We definitely miss having everybody in the pour room. So instead of seeing your beautiful faces, show us your drink. # show us your block. If you want to put your face in there too, that's fine. But yeah, show us what you guys are doing at home. Keep us updated. And join us next week for Block O'Clock.